Alright, my name is James Williams Jr. We're going to cover habit number 2. I'm going to put this on Facebook as well. So, first, this is not for children, and this is for people who maybe need a little bit of lessons in life. Alright, so I deleted the original video of this. I got too much information out, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you this, though. The title of this is Forgiveness and Redemption, and should we or are we? Basically, we all have done bad things to some people. And if you haven't done any bad thing to somebody, then you've been blessed. And continue to go on that path of doing the right thing. I am not a saint. I spent a lot of time in my youth doing some bad things. Now, granted, it's kind of hard not to do bad things when you're doing it by force and not by course. I learned martial arts as a means of being a street fighter because I was small, still small. And I've been a street fighter the majority of my life until I got into high school, where that shit just didn't have to happen anymore. Although the downside of how karma works is from grade school, after school fighting, because in the 70s and 80s that was a thing, and it wasn't like considered child abuse, and I did it. Versus by the time I got to high school in the 90s, the roles flipped. None of the people that I fought as a child from 6 to 12 ever came back after me, and that's a blessing. However, by the time I got to middle school and high school, I had been bullied all through grade school as well as middle school and high school. Most of the things in grade school was about my race, right? Because being mixed, when I went to school, that started at the beginning, I just thought I was black and blessed with good hair. Just thought I was black and blessed with good hair. Kind of find out by the time I got to like the 2nd and 3rd grade, no, I'm not just black. But by the time I got to the 5th grade, I found out that I'm 3 ethnicities in one body. Alright? I'm Cherokee Indian on both sides, I'm black on both sides, and I'm white on at least one side, which would be my mother's side. And if y'all looked at her, I'm sure you've probably seen her picture on my Facebook. You can see why I lost her in Scottsville one time. Not too long after my father had passed, we went to Scottsville. I don't know why the hell we went to Scottsville, but we went to Scottsville. I think we went to like the farmer's market or whatever. And I started calling her Premium Blend because I lost her in a crowd of white people. Alright? Probably don't need forgiveness for that because that's just some shit that happened. And not only did it happen once, it's happened twice. I lost her to CVS. She stood between a very tall white man and a medium-sized Asian woman, and she blended right in with them, and I couldn't tell. And in my defense, my mom has also drove past me, not knowing I was her child, and I've literally tried to run and catch her, and it didn't happen because she's in a car. And she said when I finally got to her, she said, "Oh, I thought you were some Hawaiian kid or some Mexican kid, so I didn't stop the car." It's like, yeah, thanks. Forgivable. Those are for some forgivable stuff. Being bullied in high school, unacceptable, but forgivable to a certain extent. I've only forgiven a couple of my bullies. Some of them actually went out to go learn martial arts, but I'll still kick their ass, especially if you're watching this right now. You know who the fuck you are. And some of my bullies, it was some unforgivable shit, and I haven't forgiven you to this day, and I'm 45 years old. And you're good. I'm good, we're good, as long as you stay the fuck out of striking distance. Because if you get within striking distance, even though you've apologized 10,000 times, I'm going to tell you this. Most people, in general, only apologize to either shut you the fuck up or because it makes them feel better. My excuse of an apology is, you're probably sorry that you got caught, or you're probably saying you're sorry to make you feel better about trying to make me feel better. When truth be told, if you were truly sorry, you wouldn't have done or said whatever the hell it was that you did or said in the first place to get the shit started. Alright? Now, there are some exceptions to the rules. Breakups are not very good. It's a touchy subject, so I'm not going to go there because it's really touchy for me. And those are forgivable. When you're in love with someone, and you can forgive them for destroying you, Those are some forgivable things. But there are some things that are questionable on the forgiving page of forgiveness. Because, if you're going around purposely hurting people and ruining them for someone else, that's really unacceptable. If you're going around breaking girls' hearts and stuff, and then they break a guy's heart who wanted to be with them for the rest of their life, but because they don't feel that they're worthy of love, they pretty much just go to the next guy, the next guy, the next guy, and they never want to settle down because they're scared that when they finally find love, that they're not going to be worthy of that person's love. All right? And what that does is ruins the guy that really wanted to be with that person for the next person to go around, which is why I no longer believe in love. I'm no longer going to be looking for love. I don't care anymore. All right? If it's going to happen, it ain't going to happen to me. I'm not going to allow myself to fall for that bullshit ever again, because every woman I've ever been with, except for my fiance that I want to marry, has gone out their way to destroy me. And even she has gone out of her way to destroy us, which she did successfully back in 2010. Which led me to the Army, which led me to my hip replacement, which led me to the spot that I am right now. Which is neither here or there, but all is forgiven. At least on my end. Because I still don't know what the fuck happened. And I'm never going to know, because she's always going to be a little girl and never woman up and tell me what happened. And after I lost my father, I got a really good dose of reality on forgiveness. It's my father and I, we never had a bad relationship. We've had some bad arguments, mostly about abortion and the woman's right to choose, and he came around, but we've never had it to the point where he needs to forgive me for something, or I need to forgive him for something. We've never had that kind of relationship. We've always been as close can get. I've always been like a second skin to him, We both also been through burning off parts of our flesh doing car incidences. My face got burnt off. He got first degree burns up and down his back when his tractor trailer, dump truck, whatever the hell it was that he drove, blew up on him. So we've had a lot of similar incidences in life, And he's only loved 2 women more than anything in his life. He's had 3 great loves, but he's only loved 2 of them more than anything else in his life. And, I got 2 brothers out of one of the loves. And, we don't hardly speak, but we share to have a step family out of the other love, and I have my big sister out of the first love. So, it's all relative. I've only had one real good love that I would have never had wanted to end. Outside of that, we as people need to understand something. If we thought before we acted or before we spoke, we really wouldn't need to seek forgiveness or redemption. It's not that hard to do the right thing. People just choose not to do the right thing because it's easier to do what the fuck you want instead of just doing the right thing. Or at least thinking, what are the consequences of this versus the consequences of that? The consequences of this is I can have a small consequence. With the consequence of that, I can have a major consequence that I have to answer for. It may not happen right now. It may happen 15 years from now. It may happen 20 years from now, but I'm still going to have to answer versus the consequence of me having to answer 2 years versus 15 years down the road. Because, you got 15, 20 years of peace. And then you have a nuclear explosion of answering for that 15 years of peace, where you may have 2 or 3 years of, all right, well, now I did it. I got to solve it. I got to do that. Now, this does not involve murder or anything. But, is murder even forgivable? In my book, yes. I do believe that murder, depending on why you kill someone, is acceptable. Now, I don't believe that rape is acceptable. Rape is the worst crime ever. I don't give a damn what anybody says. If you got preachers raping people, then you got a problem. That is unforgivable. If you're raping people and you're from the house of God, you have no business being in the house of God. And if your children aren't safe in the house of God, they ain't safe no damn where. But is it forgivable? It's forgivable for God. Because God is supposed to forgive you before you die. And if you're an atheist and you're watching this, just enjoy the rhetoric. You don't have to believe anything I say about the God part. But, for the most part, enjoy the rhetoric because everything I say has some truth to it on some level or another, and you're either going to accept it or you're not. When it comes down to doing unforgivable shit, those people generally seek redemption. My redemption is that I wanted to make kung fu movies to teach people how to fight for free. Yeah, epic fail there. But I haven't done anything so horrible that I really need to seek forgiveness and redemption. Most of the things have been done onto me, and my means of seeking redemption or forgiveness has been through, I'm going to catch that fucker and I'm going to punch them in the face. Is that redeemable? Yeah, it depends on their side of the track. I mean, if you've done something bad to me and I catch you in a dark alley and throw you a sock party, I win. No bruises. And hopefully no cops find out it was me and we're good to go. But you have to understand, I do live by strong premises of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And if I can get your enemy to fight you, I done got my hands cleared of it. Except for this just one little thing. See, I've been taking this class, and technically that would be conspiracy, so I'd be better off just doing it myself. Alright? Now, that was not a joke. I am literally on my last week of class and I'm studying my ass off, so I'm stopping to make a couple of videos. We tend to not think before we act as humans. We tend to just do instead of thinking things through. I know a lot of people who do this, and the reason I know this is because my life has been twisted upside down because of these people's ignorant ass decisions, and most of those people are family, and most of those decisions have been about procreation, which is why I'm a 45-year-old bum who doesn't have shit for himself because I've been too busy taking care of other people's and their lack of responsibility and their rationality to think before you make a stupid fucking decision. That being said, we seek forgiveness and redemption over little shit. We barely seek forgiveness and redemption over the big shit. And I want you guys to think about that. What have you done that's little that you think, oh, well, I'll just go ask for forgiveness and slap on the wrist? Versus, what have I done that's big that people really should forgive me for because I shouldn't have put them through that shit in the first place? It's a lot of people out here who have done major shit to major people and want forgiveness and redemption. And it's not always an easy task to follow. Because some people don't have to forgive you. Because you not being on the victim side of it. You don't know how it feels to be victimized. You're not going to know why they don't forgive you. It's because they were your victim. Why should they forgive you for you treating them like shit? I got one guy that I had to fight since I was 6 years old till I was 12. And I have begged this man for forgiveness. I still beg this man for forgiveness every time I see him. And he told me, that's the last time we talked, what's up, brother? He said that if I asked him for forgiveness one more time, he would shoot me himself. And he would be well within his rights. Because, as I explained, when I was younger, I was forced to fight kids in the street. It wasn't my choice. It was just something that I had to do. When I learned martial arts, I got better at fighting. And unfortunately, the dark side of me kept me fighting. The light side of me would eventually went out when I just stopped fighting and started training. And my father had a lot to do with that when he snatched me off the man that I'm speaking of and told me that if I threw one more punch that wasn't justifiable, that he would beat my ass. And that's the one thing I loved about my father. He kept that shit real. And he told me, you don't take martial arts to fight people for the purpose of fighting. You take martial arts for the purpose of defending yourself. Not so that you become a bruiser or a bully. Which is why I never fought any of my bullies in high school until I reached fuck it. And I didn't fight them then. I just brought some nunchucks to school and told them I'm going to kill them all. And after that, the whole Miss Jones 11th grade science class stopped fucking with me. Now, some of those guys have also been the recipient of Kennel Karma. And if they're watching, y'all know who you are. And, well, this is what happens when the sins of the fathers come back around to that of the sons. I don't have any children, so I do pray that all my sins fall on me and no child or grandchild of mine if I am blessed enough to have one. But I don't want any children if I can't have them with the person that I want to have them with. You understand? You don't just go having babies for the sake of, hey, fuck it, I need a baby. No, you don't. No, you don't. I need a legacy, but I don't need it that badly where I'm just going to go out and make a baby just for the sake of having a child. It's not fucking worth it. And that also puts one more bill on my plate that I don't fucking need. We tend to learn from our mistakes, most of us. A lot of us don't want to learn from our mistakes, so we keep making them. That there is unacceptable. Also unforgivable, and also we get to the point where, hey, look, stupidity has a cutoff point. It's high time you all learn it. If you choose to forgive someone, then you are doing a great service to them and yourself as well, because forgiveness is healing on some level or another. At least that's the lie I've been told. I have forgiven a lot of people for the shit they've done to me. But I'll be the first to tell you, I have not forgotten. And I will also tell you, if given a chance and I could get away with it, I'd beat the shit out of them. Without question. Because that's not true forgiveness, but it's moving on. However, forgiveness and revenge are two sides of the same coin. And they don't teach you that. You have to learn that yourself, because you can forgive somebody, but in the back of your heart or the back of your mind, you still may want to tag that motherfucker in the face. Trust me, that's normal. Because there are many people who have done shit to me and I have forgiven them. But that does not mean that I could catch them in an alley and put on a ninja suit and I wouldn't stomp a mud hole in their ass and walk it dry. Stone cold. But the whole thing is, when you can forgive somebody and get past the shit they've done and still, slightly associate with them, you're a step closer than you were when the incident happened. Now, I'm going to end this with this. I am not a saint. I'm also not a rapist. I'm not a murderer. At least not yet. And I want to tell you this. I don't think that rape is redeemable. But I will say, before you go accusing somebody of rape or before you get somebody innocent locked the fuck up, you need to look at both sides of the coin. Last night I made a video about the Me Too movement making a show cancel Baby It's Cold Outside. I respect the Me Too movement when it's in the right. I don't respect it when it's that double-edged sword that's not only cutting men but also cutting women and songs out of Christmas party shows. We as people, we have two ways of doing things in this world. You can grow up right and be raised right and do the right thing and hopefully nothing bad will ever happen to you. Or you can grow up wrong and continue to do the wrong thing because it's the easiest thing to do instead of facing reality and doing what you should do and what you need to do. And until we figure out to walk that thin gray line between the black and white, which I walk every day, we're not going to make it. Alright? I don't have anything else to say on that. I will make a second video on something totally different that kind of relates to that. But forgiveness and redemption. We all want forgiveness. We all strive for redemption. However, not all of us deserve either of the two. And redemption takes a whole lot to turn your life around. It takes a whole lot to earn the respect of turning your life from being somebody who's always doing this to people as to somebody who's always doing this to people. And sooner or later, we grew up and realized that you make more friends with this than you do with this. Alright? Thank you guys for listening. I'm James Williams Jr. Come for Harry number 2. Be seeing you.